Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to 5 Great Games. It's been 3 weeks since we've done this, so I'm glad to be back on my schedule, at least for a couple weeks here. I'm Tom Vasel, and joining me today is Spencer Williams. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am super excited to be here.
So, for folks who are watching this, Spencer, where would people have seen you, or where could they see you?
So I started a long time ago in 2016 doing reviews on the Dice Tower with my wife as Married with Board Games. We've since stopped that. We're still married, I promise. But I'm doing my stuff, doing some stuff on my own, and she still helps out as the Lighten Up Initiative on my channel, YouTube channel, the Lighten Up Initiative. I do board game content with a humor angle to it. So if you want, maybe, I can't guarantee that you'll laugh, but you may at least see my attempt at making you laugh over at the Lighten Up Initiative on YouTube. They started a segment on Board Game Breakfast that is mildly funny, and then I occasionally do reviews on the Dice Tower as well, so that's where you might see me.
And behind-the-scenes stuff you've done that people have not seen.
That is true. It's the dirty work, but it's necessary.
Yeah, folks, I don't think sometimes people don't realize how much stuff is behind the scenes on a channel, from scheduling stuff to putting show notes into documents. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but we're here to talk about games. So all I know is that Spencer's played at least one of these games, and I'm going to guess which of these he's played. Now, Spencer, you've played quite a few games, so you have a pretty wide range.
I do.
He lives near Dallas, which is one of the board game hubs of the world. Did you know there's Dallas, there's Seattle, there is Indianapolis. I'm trying to make Miami one, but it's not really. I can't pretend that to be the case. Maybe Orlando. Maybe Orlando's a gaming hub. I don't know. All right, so let's get started here, folks. We're going to jump into, these are 5 games that are amazing games, but did not make my top 100 list, but they're in my, between 100 and 200, I've actually lost count of where we're at. Someone will mention it in the comments, I'm sure. Alrighty, so let's take a look here at the first game. Now, this is a game that was in my top 100 in the past. This is Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a cooperative game. I used to say it was an incredibly hard cooperative game, but everyone in the last 3 years has decided to make harder ones. I mean, I still think this is a hard game, but it's not nearly as hard as some more modern games that have come out. But you are a bunch of monks here defending your village against various ghosts that are going to come in. Oh, those are painted ones. Half the pictures on Board Game Geek are painted. But you're fighting off these different ghosts. You roll dice. You mitigate the dice. I'm going to guess here. This is an older game, but like I said, you've been playing a while, so I'm going to say yes, you have played this.
I have played it. Yes.
Now, have you played Ghost Stories or Last Bastion?
Ghost Stories.
The reason I mention that, folks, is because Ghost Stories was re-implemented 2 years ago as Last Bastion, which it's almost the same game. There's some changes to it, but it's in a fantasy horror theme of sorts. I don't know why they changed the theme. I really like the theme. But what do you think of Ghost Stories?
I'm with the way you thought initially. I think it's incredibly difficult. Never been able to win it, but I mean, I enjoyed that kind of thing, though. I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to cooperative games. It doesn't make my experience that less enjoyable to lose. So you don't mind losing? You don't mind losing, feeling like you can't win? Well, I guess that's the problem. That's the thing. I feel like I can win it. I just feel like, oh, things just didn't fall, in the right way this time. Maybe next time, and it never happens. But it's always those dice rolls that we can't figure out how to mitigate the right way. Yeah, so have you played? Or go ahead.
I was to say, one of the things I've learned is the picture we're looking at here with the Buddhas, using these Buddhas to great effect helps, and that you need to not rely on dice rolls as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you played Samurai Spirit, which is similar in feel, sort of?
I'm pretty sure I played it, although that's such a generic name, I have to quickly look it up here. Yes, I have. I gave it a 5.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Well, I think part of the reason was because I said, well, Ghost Stories already exists, this is similar, and this is a bunch of cards, and I like the whole board thing.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
I do like the art of Samurai Spirit. Oh, they're designed by the same guy, Antoine Bauza. Yeah. All right. So that's Ghost Stories. Let's jump now to my next one. So this one's interesting to me in the sense that this is from Final Frontier Games. And we were just talking about this earlier today because we got a new Final Frontier game in. And I was telling Mike that I blew off Coloma when it first came out because I had played the Final Frontier games before that, and I found them overwrought. Too much going on, and they weren't that great of games. But Mike convinced me to play Coloma, and it is a fantastic game, worker placement style game, engine building game with this little magnetic wheel in the middle, which I really like. This looks very tabletop simulator. Spencer, I'm going to guess that you have not played this.
You're right. I have not played it.
Yes, I'm back, baby.
I really want to, though. I like the designer. I liked Fistful of Meeples that he designed, and I'm excited about Lions of Lydia, but this has always been one that at least looks interesting to me, so definitely want to check it out.
Someone said in the comment that Coloma has magnets, so I like it. That's not true. I think that magnet thing in the middle is cool, but magnets aren't enough to make me like a game. I like this game because you can take an action and enhance that action so that it's much better for you. You're building buildings in your town that make the different actions you take on the board that much better. But it also has a little bit of, I want to go to a spot. I hope you're not going to the same spot. Let's go to different spots. And it just works really well. And it looks like a big, grandiose game. I would argue it's a little bit smaller than that. It's not as big as it looks or as complicated as it looks. And it's one of the few games I think that handles more players, like 5 players. I'd play this with and not have a problem with most games that are Euro games. I cap them at 4, sometimes less. Do you like the Wild West theme?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. That's why I like. One of the reasons why I like Fistful of Meeples. Don't have very many, but it's definitely one that needs to be done more.
They got to make more Wild West games. We have enough zombie games, enough generic fantasy. We even have enough space games at this point. Mm-hmm. All righty. Let's go to the third game here, Fast Sloths. Now, this one's from Friedman Fries. When I saw the box cover, I was not particularly interested in this game, and when I saw the board, still not particularly interested in this game. 2F Games just does not make their games look nice. But this game in which you are moving your sloth around the board, but you can't move the sloth. The sloth is too lazy for that. You use different animals. It's the game he has that you saw the catchphrase there was "pick me up and deliver me." Spencer, I'm going to guess you have not played this only because I think most people haven't.
You're right. I haven't played it.
Now, does this interest you?
No. Not at all.
Well, do you like race games?
I do. The box, I know, don't judge a game by the box, whatever. It definitely doesn't do anything for me, but what are you going to tell me about this?
Well, first of all, I think you can judge a game by its box cover.
Okay.
And if the game is a good game despite its box cover, that's the publisher's fault. They should have made the box look better. But I like it because it's an efficiency game. Like, different creatures move different ways. So do I want to use the eagle to fly you? Because then I can move over a river. Or the crocodile swims down the river. And you're trying to figure out the best way because you have to have your sloth go to different points on the board. And I don't know. There's just something about that. There's not many games that do this. And you don't even play with the same animals every game. There's different sets of animals. So you're just trying to collect animals of different types and then use that animal. But someone else might move an animal you were about to get on over to them. So there's a little take that in the game. I think it's really fun.
Well, I won't say I'll seek it out, but if I get the opportunity to try it, I will.
That's a good rule of thumb to have pretty much with lots of games. I won't seek it out, but if it comes across my thing. But this one, I don't think it will be that expensive to find it.
Okay.
Because I don't know a lot of people who were raving about it.
Makes sense.
All right, here we go. Duel of Ages II. Now, this was actually I have this ranked here as a 10. It's no longer a 10. I'm going to change my ranking of it. It's now an 8.5. I still like it a lot. Duel of Ages was my favorite game when I first played it. It was my favorite game for several years. It's since dropped a bit, and this was Duel of Ages 2. It's just Duel of Ages 1 with a reprint of it. I feel like you might have played one of the two Duel of Ages at some point in your life.
No, not played either of them. Nice try.
See, now this is the one where I don't know if you should. Because you have to really like the theme. The theme is very hero-scapey in that you have all these different people, try to ignore the artwork, all these different people from different times and space. You have people from the past, the future, the ancient times with weapons, and they're running around doing everything from flying spaceships. The board doesn't look like that. It looks like this. From flying spaceships to bowling to fighting some people in an alley to having a wild western gunfight. There's lots of dice checks. You get all kinds of weird weapons. I might have a frontier man with a chainsaw attacking a robot from the future, riding a skateboard, shooting a laser gun. And that's all real stuff, and I love it. I love all that stuff. The problem is it's 2021, and the game definitely feels like a 1996 game.
Gotcha.
It's a little clunky, and they added more stuff. Instead of streamlining it, they added more stuff for Duel of Ages II. That means I still like it a lot, but I can see why people don't. But I still suspect you might like it if you were taught by somebody who knew the game and you didn't have to look up all the rules.
Yeah, that concept sounds extremely entertaining. So I'd give it a try.
Yeah, because it's the kind of game that, I talk about these games, the kind of game that gives stories. Kit Carson was there with Napoleon, and they were fighting against, the Caraxa 6 from an alien planet chasing them. That's entertaining to talk about. I do think you should play, if you play, just play with two people, because you get to control more characters. And because technically, what does it say here in the thing? I think it says something like 2 to 16 players.
Wow.
No, it says 2 to 6 now. The original one, I believe, said 2 to 16. Let me see if that's right. It doesn't say that on here. The box definitely said it. It definitely said that. And when I first was getting into gaming again as a hobby, this was back in 2002, I thought, or 3 was when it came out. I thought, oh, wow, 16-player game, it sounds amazing. Now I would be running the other way.
Yes.
But it's because it's a bunch of characters, team versus team. So you could play 16 people. They just each only control one character. And in this game, that would be really boring.
Yeah.
So this is the one that should go in your category, Spencer, where you said you won't seek it out. But if it comes across, you play it.
Okay. I will add that to the list then.
Alrighty, last one here. Catacombs. I'm showing Catacombs 3rd edition because it's very similar to the 1st edition, except Catacombs 3rd edition has good art. Catacombs 1st edition, I'll show you, did not. Well, if the art ever shows up. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cover. Doesn't that make you want to play it? All right. So the new art, which was Quache Mori, who does a fantastic job. Yes, you've played it.
I have played it, and I love it. It's fantastic. And I've played the Catacombs and Castles one and the Catacombs Conquest, but this is my favorite out of all of them.
I agree. Catacombs and Castles actually is on Kickstarter right now, or it was just a few days ago. That one's fun, but that's a team-based one. This is one versus many as a dungeon crawl. Do you feel like it feels like a dungeon crawl?
Absolutely, and that's what I love about it, is just it feels like a dungeon crawl, it just happens to be a dexterity game, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, if you never played this, it's a flicking game, and skill definitely matters. You definitely want to be able to flick your disc in the right spot, but you have special abilities based on the monsters. Each monster has special abilities, and each hero has a special ability. Like the elf comes with a little disc, and instead of shooting your own disc, you shoot that extra little disc at people. And the magician has a fireball. And I think there's about, if you buy the expansions, there's like 20 different characters. Do you have any of the expansions?
I don't have any of the expansions, no. But one of my favorites is the ice ball, being able to freeze a character.
Yeah, and it's really not complicated because you only need to remember your character's special ability. And when you go into a room with dungeons, so there'll be like a few bad guys, and I say, this bad guy can do this. This one can do that. And in fact, one of the expansions actually has a gelatinous cube, which is a cube. You can see it in the corner here in this picture in the bag. I really like this one, but it requires everyone to kind of get in the spirit of the game. I don't think this is for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
When you play this, do you play it 1 versus 1, or do you play 1 versus many?
1 versus many. I think that having one person control multiple characters is not as fun, so definitely play it with 1 versus several other players. It's more fun to be the person controlling the monsters and everything, too.
I was just going to ask you, do you prefer to be the monster guy or the players?
Definitely the monster guy.
Oh, see, we could not play together then.
I mean, I would yield the position, but this would be my preference.
Yeah, to me, when I play this, the one thing I like about this game as playing the Dungeon Master is most games I play that have a quote-unquote Dungeon Master, you try to pull your punches a little bit.
Right.
Because you're not trying to kill everyone. Here you don't necessarily have to. You can try to do some skilled shots and stuff. And you're playing as much as the players are, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And you're not just facilitating the game.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, that is the 5 more great games, folks. I'm 4 for 5 here. 4 for 5. So I feel pretty good about this, Spencer.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad.
We have not gamed together in... Have we ever played a game together? We must have.
BGG Con 2019.
What did we play?
We played a couple things. We played The Crew. That's the first time you ever played The Crew.
That's right. That was a great time.
Magic Maze on Mars was one.
That's right. That was a great game, too.
And then the dice game. I don't remember which one. Remember the marble thing where they move around and in that little square?
Oh, yeah. The Lorenzo Il Magnifico, the dice game.
Yep.
Got it. Well, wow, that feels like a lot longer. It's only a year and a half ago, but it feels like a lot longer than that.
It sure does.
All right, Spencer, so once again, if people want to find you on the internet, where would they go?
Best place is to look for the Lighten Up Initiative on YouTube. Also on Twitter at @hey_lighten up, or Facebook, Hey Lighten Up, or Instagram at Hey_lighten up. Basically, I'm just saying, hey, lighten up. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, just search Lighten Up somewhere and you'll find me.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back next week with 5 more great games, but even faster than that, in 40 minutes, we'll be here with the next season of Shoots and Marbles. Come cheer for your favorite marbles, and we'll see you then. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Spencer Williams.
Have fun gaming. Oh, I need to, I'm supposed to have an outro here, and Roy made me a new outro, and I have not played it yet. I can find it here, folks. Now we're leaving for real.
Okay.